World Remit helped me give you the best start in life, even if I couldn't be there to see it. I know it wasn't easy comparing yourself to your friends, but the money I sent home meant that you could be right there alongside them today. I'm so proud to be your mother, almost as proud as you must be, now that you're starting an incredible new chapter.
Bidang-bida ka pag nanalo ka ng bagong bahay sa pina-level up na TFC Win From Home Season 2. Just watch, answer, and win. Manalo monthly or win the pina-level up na grand prize, a brand new house and lot. Just watch TFC shows and movies every day. Choose TFC sa online form and answer the question of the day. Join us at TFC Win From Home Season 2.
We keep asking, what's trending? What's viral? Here, we ask, what's fresh in the entertainment scene? The latest innovations in science and inventions in the medical field. What's fresh on the planet? Next big thing, NBT.
I love Filipino music, Pinoy radio.
4 radio stations in one great app. MCBN Media Group app is a must-have app for all global Pinoys who love music. Free to download. Pinoy Radio, today's best Filipino music, plays the latest pop music with a mix of good old throwback OPM hits. Crosswave, the right hit music mix. America's Top 40 CHR Internet Radio slides back from the 90s and 2000s playlist, and today, Jeepney Pinoy Radio. Tara, sakay na! Let's rock and roll! The alternative way to listen mainstream and Pinoy indie music, OPM rock, and rap. Handpicked into one great playlist with live and acoustic versions, plus featured Tunog Calle faves. MCBN Radio, 24/7 of the most listened American and British throwback hits from the 70s and 80s, with live broadcast feature and serving as the voice of the community. MCBN TV, live TV programs and mainstream blogs from great entertainment personalities and social media influencers. Download now. Thinking of selling your house or buying one in Toronto and surrounding areas? Our program will assist you in realizing your dream home in 60 minutes. GIZELE MIRASOL of Remax Rouge River Realty, with the help of satisfied clients, live personal testimonies, and how it changed their lives. That and more. Property Talks, Sundays on Pinoy Radio, PinoyRadio.com. Hosted by GIZELE MIRASOL, together with her remarkable guests who knows exactly how it's done. Property Talks. Your dream home awaits.
And I think we are now live. Welcome to Property Talks with GIZELE MIRASOL. Can you guys all hear me today? My name again is GIZELE MIRASOL, and welcome to our special episode here, which is my birthday celebration episode today. And I have 2 special guests for you. So unang-una, without further ado, I hope you're having a great day. Magandang umaga, hapon, at gabi sa inyong lahat, wherever you are all over the world. But I do apologize. We were having some technical difficulty as actually my laptop decided not to work. So as you can see, even right now, I am just trying to fix this. But the most important thing is we are currently live, okay? So, but we without further ado, let me just quickly go over our program for today. So, unang-una, let's start off. I have made this episode a special one for you. I have invited two other realtors from the community who you might have also known as well. Okay, and these two individuals as well. We all know each other. And I think it's great that we're all collaborating today and inviting them as guests because we would like to provide you with our the insider's insight on what we do here as realtors in Canada. Ano ba talaga ang job namin? I mean, what do we do on a daily basis? I mean, is it easy to become a realtor? And I know we get this question a lot. Giselle, I want to be a realtor. Can you let me know what your job entails? Okay, so you're not only getting obviously our professional opinion, and we will give you a realistic idea of how our day-to-day life is ngayon, right? So una again, I apologize for the technical difficulty, but we are virtual and that's what happens when you are live. But thank you very much for waiting. So let's get this party started. We will talk about, you know, is real estate for you? Would you like to be a realtor? We get that question a lot. We'll talk about the current housing market. Is this a great time to buy or sell? Is there going to be a bubble? Is a bubble going to burst? We'll talk about the what happens in an offer presentation, bidding wars because of the hot market right now, and what factors affects the real estate market, why it's currently hot. Okay, and lastly, I will answer all of your questions. So we are live. So if you have any comments or questions, kindly please put it on the comment section, and we'll definitely go over it with you. So without further ado, please welcome my first guest. We have Chinky del Mar, who is with EXP Realty Canada. Ayan po siya. Also as well, serving Toronto and surrounding areas. Please welcome Chinky. Come on in.
Hi, Giselle.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. It's been a pleasure to be invited here to your show, Giselle. I'm so honored to be one of your guests and to also share my opinion about your topic today. Thank you so much. And
Well,
good
thank you,
afternoon,
Chinky.
everyone.
Good afternoon. Maraming salamat for being here, and we value your opinion. And so, ayan po at Chinky and I we talk once in a while, and it's great to actually have her here in the show. Okay, so I'm gonna put you on standby, Chinky, and let's introduce our second guest. He as well is also with Century 21. Please welcome Mr. Aristotle, or we'll call him Aris Abuyen. Hi, Aris.
Hello, hi Giselle. How are you doing? And thank you for inviting me to your show. And again, happy birthday to you again. I hope
Thank
you
you.
enjoyed the weekend. And I'm
Maraming
happy to.
salamat.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that I'm actually doing the show today is actually, it's actually a good thing considering the fact I've been, celebrating all weekend. So very grateful. But you know what? In real estate, the work must go on, right? Regardless of we have our own personal lives. So that's what
for
we
sure.
will talk about. But
Definitely.
thank you for taking the time on your busy Sunday. As to all of our listeners, itong mga taong ito, you see us in the community, you see Aris, you see Chinky, you see myself, and of course other realtors. But I wanted to bring in two Filipinos here because, syempre, we'll talk to you about ano ba talaga ang trabaho natin, right? Don't you guys get that question a lot?
Yes, of course. At the end of the day, you have to be honest and you have to be true to yourself. What is this? This is your business. This is my business. So, and a lot of people really don't know what are the things that we have to go through to be in this position, right? So, I think it's better to talk about it. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much, Giselle.
Oh, you're welcome. You know what? I think what we'll do is we'll talk to Aris as well. And I know you and I have talked about this. We get this question. How do we become realtors? People are like, how do we become you? I mean, I think there's a perception there. Correct me if I'm wrong. That all we do is make money. We show homes, we sell, we make a lot of money, and we're good to go, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's not really the case. So we are going to give you a different perspective, an insider's perspective from three different realtors who's definitely out there, and we will tell you exactly what we're doing. Go ahead, Aris.
So another thing I wanted to disclose here, not just three different realtors, three full-time realtors. There's a big difference, right?
Yes.
So
Tama.
there you go. Okay.
Tama yon. Actually, so we've been in this industry for quite some time. It's actually, a make it or break it kind of business,
Yes.
diba? Okay. What do we give everybody? Should we show stats now, or should we maybe talk about, we'll talk about life first. So let's start off with, I know Chinky. I'm gonna put you on the spot for a second here.
Oh,
Because Chinky here actually. Definitely, she's an inspiration. Okay, it's not, as she knows, it's not easy starting in this business. But maybe Chinky, if you can give us a little bit of a glimpse on how it was when you started.
oh, yes. So it's not too long ago. I started in 2018. I got my license in 2018, but I
Mm-hmm.
started the course in OREA in 2016. I was still a live-in caregiver at the time, full time, and also
Mm-hmm.
studying because after 2 years of completing the program in caregiving, you have to make another path, right? You have to upgrade, and luckily, my boss before, my first employer here in Canada, when I came in 2012, got married to a realtor, and I
Oh.
observed her. Yes, I observed her and the lifestyle that she has, and it feels like, oh, I think I can do this too. And I already had a background back in the Philippines. I'm already in sales for more than 10 years, different industries, and I think I can do it. So and that time I'm still figuring out like how I'm gonna be a realtor. So I
Mm-hmm.
started researching, do some research, do some readings, and approach some people too. So I started my first course in 2016 because we have 18 months to finish the whole course to become a license, right? At that time, it's different because 3 courses you can get your license. And then because I'm working full time, so it's a slow process for me. It took me almost a year to finish the 3 courses. And then in 2017, I think I'm on my third course. And then it's funny, Giselle, because Aris was the first person that I approached.
Wow.
I did a lot of research, and he's one of the realtors that I really respected too in the community. And I approached him and I asked Aris about the industry. And he was so kind enough and very supportive to tell me the realities and the truth. And he told me, he warned me. I said, Chinky, you know, this industry is very competitive. You have to have like a tough, like mentally tough to be in this business because once you're into this business, it's stressful. He gave me that idea already, and he told me that if you will pursue it, just go for it because not all realtors who got their license continued after 2 years. When you pass your 2 years, then you're good to go. But
Mm-hmm.
some of realtors less than 2 years they quit, and that gave me a good perspective that if I'm gonna pursue this career, like I really have to focus and set my mind into it because I don't want to give up, start something and give up. So I thank you, Aris, for giving me such
I'm proud of you, and we still keep in
thank you
touch.
so
I talk to you, you talk to me, I talk to both of you anyway.
yeah, yeah.
I'm so proud, and
you,
I'm
you,
happy.
you, you it's crazy, right? Like, first off, nakakatuwa yung story mo. I commend you for definitely going through all that barriers and challenges. And you know what? And the hardest thing to sometimes is to even reach out, right? Sometimes we have the perception na, oh, feeling nila, suplada tayo or something, and then you can't talk to us, right? There's always that perception. But and actually, a lot of people think that it's always all competition between everybody, right? So I think this might come as a surprise that all of us are here today. You
Yeah.
know, um,
Yes.
but we've like I've known Aris for quite some time actually, and I see him in a lot of events, right, in the community and stuff. And then Chinky, I just got to know you really maybe about 2 years ago, I think, right?
Yes, in different in events, different
In
Filipino events.
different events, right? So mga 2 years ago, like I knew your sister more, right? And then Then eventually we got to know each other and we saw each other in events as well. So we all serve the same community, right? Like I mean, we all as well. Advertise in the Filipino community in other areas, for example. But I think that's one common ground that we have, right? So we're all part of Philcrea, which is the Filipino Canadian Real Estate Association. So we have a lot of things in common, and I thought that was it would be great that we all get together for this and get different perspective from everybody. So una Chinky, I commend you because and honestly, I have a lot of respect for caregivers. A lot of people in Canada sometimes ang pagtingin nila sa mga caregivers hindi masyado maganda. And to me, caregivers for me are one of the most hardworking people that I know. They leave their family behind in the Philippines. They come here to earn a decent living, to take care of another side of someone else's child, not their own, while they leave their own children behind. So, I commend you for that, and also following your dream, right? Now, real estate might be for you, but for somebody else, it might not be for them. Okay, so this is what we're going to clarify today. And what do we do? So I know, Chinky, thanks for sharing your story there. Napakagandang story. It's a true success story, to be honest. But I'm going to go ahead and talk to Aris, right? Aris, so let's talk
My
about your real estate journey.
Okay, I mean, starting from the beginning, I was a real estate investor in 2000. I started investing in properties, and then at one point, I purchased a property, and there were some things about the property I wasn't aware of, so I had to learn about it. I got into real estate after that, and started studying it myself. I figured, why not try to get into industry? I love the course, and ever since then, I've been in it for a long time now, and I love helping people, and I love to see other people as well, like yourself and Chinky, strive in this industry, right?
Yeah, no, that's great. And I think we want to clarify as well that when we took the course, it was still with Aurea College, right?
That's right.
So it was a different setup. You can take the first three courses, and then you can get your license, and then within 2 years, you have to finish the rest of the three courses. But now, anyone who wants to be a realtor, you have to go to Humber College, and you need to take four
Finish off.
courses first. That's right. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know if you're aware how long it will take to take the rest of the courses, but I know you need the four to finish to get your license in the meantime. So if anyone is taking it out there right now, and you can tell us, because this is all a change, right? Aurea College just pretty much ended like what, June or July of this
That's
year,
right.
right? So this is a whole transition that we're all going through. But of course, we're used to the old system because that's what we took, right? But to give a reality of how many realtors now are in the industry, okay? So guys, Chinky, can you tell me? I know we talk about these numbers. How many realtors do we have in Toronto and in Ontario, please? Do you remember that?
Well, this is just based on what I researched. We have 93,000 in all over Ontario, and in Toronto, in Treb, it's like 58 to 60,000 licensed realtors. So imagine that, how big the competition is, right? But
Yes.
then for me, I think it's not really like survival of the fittest. As long as you love what you do and you're passionate with what you do and you love helping people, you will really survive. Like Aris told me before, Chinky, you have to be mentally tough to be in this industry, and I have to condition myself with that because I know that it's a scary place out there, right? So many agents. Yeah.
It is. It is. I mean, and we're talking about, I mean, sa Toronto alone, of over 60,000 licensed realtors,
Right.
right? I mean,
Mm.
we're not even talking about like, any other areas. So
Yeah.
if you are working outside of Toronto, you are competing with those other realtors too. But you know what I always tell people is what they ask me when they ask me like, how is it? What can you tell us about real estate? I ask them, how many realtors do you know? Right? They'll tell me I know two. How many realtors does your husband or your wife know, or your parents, or whatever? There's at least minimum two, and then by the time they add, oh, I actually know five. I actually know 10. The question is, compared to, let's just say, five people that you know, or even just two or three, right? My question is to you is, how are you going to stand out in compared to everybody else? Okay, what do you bring in a table that is different that the other realtors have not done? We are so grateful and we're lucky that we have actually survived, and we have done well in this industry. But I think the misconception is napakadali ng trabaho, right? But I must say it's also our fault for posting sold, for sale, and all of the success stories that we currently have. But Aris and I were talking about this, and the reason why we do post, and that is one way of marketing ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Right, Aris?
That's right. You need to make sure that people think about you in your community, within your
Yeah.
circle as well, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
That's
I
part of
agree.
our job, owning our business, right?
Yeah.
And it's our job to also educate people that surround us as well. That we are in the industry, we are the specialists in the industry, and it's important for them to work with the right people that knows what they're doing. So
You know,
Absolutely.
yes.
Go ahead, Chinky.
Yeah, I agree with Aris too. When we post something on Facebook, it's one way to build a brand, a personal brand that you're doing your job as a realtor. It's not only like showing off that, oh, I sold and I get this commission right after that. I think since you are into this business and you're passionate about what you're doing, then you
Mhm.
have to let people know that you're doing your job and giving the best for your client as well.
Absolutely. I mean, real estate is our passion, and it's also, as well, it is our career, right? So that's why we
Mhm.
do advertise. But I think at the same time, with all of the shows, such as the HGTV shows, where they show you that in 30 minutes time, buy a home, $1 million. Here, well, let's put an offer on a contract, sold. You make 25,000, 50,000, or
yeah,
whatever how much commission that they make. So I think, but in reality, people say, "Oh wow, look at the market; it's so hot. You guys are probably making more money." But I tell people this all the time. It's like, with this bidding and offer presentation, our jobs are actually tripled, even quadruple,
it's true.
because with one client that that's looking for a home, every time somebody sends you a property to look at, we need to research it. We
That's
research that property, and then and one person doesn't send one property. Sometimes it's send 10 a day, right? And that's one client. You have 10 properties, you have to research it. That takes a lot of time. You need to find out when is the bidding for this property. Is that 799 price the real price of the home? And in this
exactly.
market right now, that is not the real price. That's the
No,
listing price. And the 799, the real value is actually $1 million.
that's
So
right.
so now we have to research all of that. We have to research and say, actually, your budget is 900,000, right? So
Mhm.
unfortunately, this is already over, your mortgage approval or your budget. So there's a lot of things involved, and that takes time. Researching takes time for that, and that's per client. And I think the reality is our phone, you know, is
Trust me.
nonstop, right? You
Non,
Yeah,
know, I,
yeah,
I, I,
24/7.
I I think sometimes, you wake up early in the morning and you look at your phone and you're like, oh my God, is it that, what am I getting? Or you can hear ding, 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 all that notifications, right? So
yeah,
just giving them a little bit of perspective how it's a 24/7 job, and we don't have set, we don't have where people goes, yay, it's a Friday, I can relax. There's no such thing as Fridays, right?
no, no.
That's true. I can relate to you, Giselle, because even if I'm on vacation with friends, they knew me. I'm always on my phone. Like, oh, when are you gonna stop? Like, you are with us. You're supposed to enjoy with us, but I'm on my phone negotiating with clients, or I'm with a lawyer, or I'm with a mortgage agent. The process goes on and on, even if you are not really in that deal, right? So, like, it's the same thing. Like, I tried to let my clients understand that my job is not just finding a home for you. My job starts the moment when you submit your documents for pre-approval until closing. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
showing houses and doing the offer presentation. Not only that, right?
Right.
So once you get the key, it's not even done yet. Like, because some clients, after they get their key, they will call you in the middle of the night. Oh, I have a problem with my refrigerator. The washing machine is not working well. So, and you have to really like accommodate all these complaints, right? Even if the deal is closed. So it's not a one-time deal that after the closing gone and you make money and that's it, right? So it's not only that. So I hope people will realize that our job is really nonstop.
You're correct with that, and thanks for sharing that insight. I tell people, like, people don't realize that how much paperwork we do,
Oh
before,
yeah, that's
during, and
thing.
after, right? Aside from the research, we have all this paperwork. And like you said, we're not just talking to, you're not just talking to the clients, we're talking to mortgage agents, we're talking to lawyers, inspectors, appraisers, anybody within the industry. And then, imagine that's one person per client inquiring for all of these, even like we're not just realtors. Sometimes we're psychologists, psychiatrists, mentors, looking for babysitters in the area.
Mm.
Whatever it is, they find we're like a go-to
A cleaner
stop.
too.
And a cleaner, you need a cleaner, you need a whatever, or movers or anything. So we our database has expanded, right? But I just want to go back from the very beginning. The reality is, I think people don't understand the expense, right, on how much it costs to become a realtor. And just to give everyone an idea, an average is you're looking at least, to start about $4,000 and up. And I've heard people talk about 4,000 to 10 grand to start. And that's because the four courses, you're looking at $550 a course. That's 2 grand there already, right? We have the licensing with the real estate RICO, right? We have as well, you have to, depending who your brokerage is, there's fees with your brokerage. There's your business cards. There's your website. There's all of this marketing material. So I'll let you add on. Did I miss anything else?
No, no, actually, you did really well there. I think the it's the branding part that's the especially for a realtor just that's only starting out as well. Sometimes they may have to work with an experienced realtor or be part of a team. So, having said that, if you're a new realtor, you're not just paying for the fee with the brokerage fee, the admin fee. You're also actually going to be paying your mentor as well a percentage because they'll be helping you grow your business, right, and helping you with everything else. So those are the other additional costs that you have to pay for.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kara. I just want to share something. When I started part time. I was having a full time caregiving job at the time, and I have already this incurring expenses, right? When I started, so it's so hard for to get into full time because you have other bills to pay, and you have those monthly expenses too. So when I started, um, even if when I started doing the courses, Giselle, it was hard for me because
Yes.
I'm a single mom. I have two kids to support back in the Philippines. So and have to pay those courses too. So aside from being a nanny, I also work part-time on the weekends, like house cleaning or bartending like that. So
Mm-hmm.
just to make those
So,
ends meet, survive until I
yeah,
got my license. And when I got my license, it's so hard for me to think also how am I going to survive to do this business and without a consistent income. So it's hard for me to let go of my previous job, my full-time job, because I have consistent bills to pay every month. So it's so hard to figure it out. But then
Mm-hmm.
when I decided that I need to focus my mind, that's when I think my business really explode. Like I on my first 6 months, I had nothing, like zero, zero, zero sale at the time. But I focus on equipping myself with knowledge and skills. I do some research. I did Buffini training. Aris mentioned about coaching
yeah,
and training.
yeah.
Aside from I was with Remax before. Remax used to have the new agent training, and then they also offered outside coaching and training. And I also
Mm-hmm.
paid for that coaching and training just to equip myself with skills and knowledge.
Yeah.
And to be, because you said it's a very competitive industry, right? So how can you compete if you're a new agent with other seasoned realtors? So that's what I did in my first 6 months. And luckily, when I started like doing the job full time in 2019, not too long ago, in 2019, that's when the business starts to come in. And I'm so
That's good.
grateful for those realtors that I approach. Aris is one of them. He
Thank
taught
you.
me a lot of his
That's
tips
good.
and secrets. He's
Yeah,
very, very
yeah.
supportive on my business. Thank you so much.
Oh my god,
Thank you so
I'm
much.
really proud of you, man. I
Thank you.
No, definitely. I mean, Chinky, we are
yeah,
proud of you and how you definitely, uh, look at you now, how accomplished you are right now, and
Oh no,
you've gone
I'm not
through a
in that
lot of,
position like you guys.
you
I
know,
wish
y- I,
I would be that, but
I
then
tell every I tell everybody we start somewhere. We were also new at one point, right? I started in this business
Absolutely.
almost 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and it was all that fears of, can I do this business? Can I, considering I was working for, so I guess I should share my story as well. I was working for a corporate job for about 13 years, 5 weeks vacation, benefits, things like that. But I knew there was something missing. A lot of changes happening in my personal life, and so therefore, real estate is something I wanted to get into, and that was since, uh, gosh, like I mean, like about 15 years ago. But definitely, I'm gonna see. This is what happens when we're live. I'm gonna have to adjust and charge my phone because my laptop earlier was not working. So now let me just charge that quickly so I don't lose all of you. So basically, I started off, and before, when I was actually reviewing and I was trying to get into my license, I got a hold of another realtor, and actually I was asked to join a team even before I actually
That's right.
got my license. So in a sense, and I did ask later on, like, why would you even ask me to be part of the team? Because they were just creating the team, knowing that I don't, I'm just starting. And I'll tell you the response later on. So what happened was I decided, let me just work full time for a little bit. I want to try and see this for a year, how it will work for me, because I was getting a salary every 2 weeks, and I have,
Mhm.
this is something that's for sure with real estate, like you said, when people don't realize, when you don't have any clients for 6 months, right? After 6 months, when you start getting that client, Chinky, let's just say January to June, you didn't have a client. You start acquiring client in July. You start looking for a home, and you didn't find a home till October. The
That's
house
right.
does not close till December.
yeah,
What that means is you have one whole year with no income. This is what I
yes,
don't think people understand. But that
So
whole time you have, I know I'm jumping in here with expenses now. The whole time you've been paying for your real estate fees with your brokerage. You are also paying for your office. Also, the brokerage also takes away a commission, a percentage of your
personal
commission
expense too.
from that sale. You have gas, you have your car, you have your insurance, you have your cell phone, your 407 pass, you have your website, you have your database, you're also marketing. Every time we sponsor in the community, $100 here, $200 there, they all add up,
Maybe
right?
more.
You know what I mean? So, and then to be honest, sometimes we don't even really get anything out of it. So you have all of those expenses. So at the end of the day, like you said, you have expense, 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 right? And you do not get paid for a year. What are you going to do, right? So, and that was, I'll talk about the COVID, but let me just, I know I'm kind of off track here, but let me just go back to how I started. So eventually, so I was studying, and then when I got my license, I mean, I was working, and I had to trade shifts with some of the people that I work with, because I need to do the exam, right? So, and the exams were during the day. And so therefore I mean, I have these two coworkers of mine. I'm really, really close with them. We did our exam. I mean, I did my exam, and they would trade shifts with me. And I kid you not, on my first month, they were my first two clients, and they bought a home from me. And I said, wow, I mean, these are two people who knew very well that I'm new. You know what I mean? Yeah, I had the team to back me up and help me with this, but they could have just gone with somebody who's been in the industry for so long. And I think after I talked to them and I realized it was really more trust. You know,
Yes,
um,
that's
the trust is the number one thing. So I've had a lot of clients I found that who became my clients who were actually who are not we're not I wasn't really close to, but I knew them in high school or in elementary school or whatever the case may be, or I've met them once before I was even a realtor, and they don't know me as Giselle now. They knew me as Giselle from 20 years ago, right? But so thank God for whatever reason it is that they had a good impression of me back then, for them to come and say, we would really like you to be a realtor. So I think it's just a matter of be careful, guys, who you interact with, or the people that you interact every day, because you do not know that you might end up talking to them or working with them in the future. So I am grateful for those two friends. We are still amazing friends up to now. The fact, and this, they're not Filipinos. Okay, both of them are not Filipinos, and that's what it was. They were my first two deals on my first month, And that is my success story. I am grateful for my previous team because I started off with them. Definitely, got to know, and it was definitely a good team. We were thriving. It was an amazing team. But at the end of the day, sometimes, everybody chooses their own path, right? So after, 3 years or so, I decided it was time. It was time for me to venture off and try. And I've always wondered how well I would do, right? I mean, they had the experience and stuff. Like, I mean, the good news is, I was actually, I still had a lot of stream of clients coming in from the people that I knew throughout the business, but it was definitely scary because after the first year, I went full time already, right? And I did it on my own now. So and that was the same thing. Expenses were coming in, and then I was double taxed. I was taxed full time because I was working full time at the corporate level. Then the real estate money I was making, by the time I'm like, okay, great, I made this money, I can go full time. Tax season came, and I'm like, I'm paying all this tax, right? So that was very hard, And when you're trying to save every penny, that was hard. So we are all immigrants here. We've had our own rags to riches story,
Absolutely.
but definitely that was hard for me to start in that real estate and to let go of something secure, right? And not knowing if I'm gonna make that money every week or pay my bills, have a car, have insurance. We all have all of that, right? Now it doesn't mean that I might not have my own family, that I don't have other expense, but we also have our own immediate families to think of and all of that stuff, right? So but with that being said, so that's how I started. So after 3 years or so, I was scared. I ventured off, did it my own thing, and thankfully it's going to be 10 years in March next year. And my business has now been 99% referrals and repeat clients. I honestly, I advertise because I still do. But other than that, honestly, my calls are people are just coming in. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful that it got to that point. But we'll talk more about real estate because I think we need a break. We need to do a quick short break, and when we come back, we'll talk to you more about how much does this expense really cost? At the end of the day, after everything else that we do we really make money? Or are we really millionaires that people think we are? Okay, so we'll be back when Property Talks with Gisele Mirasol returns.
Ang programang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Action Honda, where car ownership is made easy. Located at 4334 Kingston Road, Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Come to Action Honda. Whether bibili ka o hindi, it's always a pleasure to talk sa kababayan. Mabuhay!
Great car deals in action. Your Filipino friends ready at your service. Test drive at Action Honda today.
Hi, it's me, Gia Rogers, ambassador of Mitsify, and today I'm going to show you the forms and functions of our 2021 collection bags. Come check it out.
I love how versatile it is. As someone who goes to university, I think it's great. I really like how it can turn into a backpack, and it's very big on the inside.
My favorite part might be these holders down here for wallet, credit card. That's really helpful.
The collection also comes with 2 interchangeable straps, the classic strap and the indigenous.
I love the options for the pockets. I can put my phone in here, and I have spots for my pens. This water bottle holder is really cool.
And as you can see, you can also change the shape of the bag.
From the eye clinic that introduces unique, funky, and fashionable eyewear, 7 taon na ang nakakaraan, continues to deliver. Sunny Optical is the one. Patuloy at tuloy-tuloy ang alagang makabayan, serbisyong Canadian. If you're looking for the distinctive, innovative, and coveted frames and sunglasses, Sunny Optical now serves our patrons much better. At dahil may Pinoy optometrist and optician that can speak Tagalog, alam namin ang pangangailangan nyo. To 2 locations, 1 vision. They accept direct billing with insurance companies. In Ontario, we are located at First Markham Place, 3255 Highway 7 East, Unit 166. In Thornhill, we are at 1 Promenade Circle, Y007 at TNT Supermarket Entrance. Kita-kita na lang kabayan at Sunny Optical. Feel free to contact us, 905-7311-999.
Bidang-bida ka pag nanalo ka ng bagong bahay sa pina-level up na TFC Win From Home Season 2. Just watch, answer, and win. Manalo monthly or win the pina-level up na grand prize, a brand new house and lot. Just watch TFC shows and movies every day. Choose TFC sa online form and answer the question of the day. Join us at TFC Win From Home Season 2.
I think you're mute. Oh,
Hi, everybody. There you go. Can you hear me now?
yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I just wanted to say hello to some of our listeners. DJ June actually said that he's interested in real estate. He's looking into it. He said it's 5 courses in Humber that you have to take. Thank you very much for providing us with the most up-to-date information with the Humber courses. I'd like to say to Miss Alma Garrido, all the way from Hamilton, thank you. She said, happy birthday, Giselle. Maraming salamat po, Ate Alma. Thanks for always tuning in. We also have as well, Laurel, thank you for saying hello. She's saying hello to everybody. Ayan. So if you guys have your friends there saying hello, you can definitely greet them on the air. But just before the break, we actually talked about all of our experience, how we started. We can greet them on the air in real estate, no? So now, can you hear me? Nagkaroon tayo ng feedback. Are we good? Are we good? Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, great. So we did talk about our experience as well, how we started as real estate. Now I'm going to pass this on quickly to Aris, because we will give you an example of how much shout out as well for Deanna Banana. Hi Deanna, how are you? Okay, hi Deanna. There you go, saying hello. People are saying hello on air. I'm going to pass this to Aris, and Aris, let's give everybody a breakdown, okay? So let's just say that an average home in Toronto surrounding areas for a freehold townhome is $900,000, okay? Right. Now, sometimes, we don't always have $1 million sales, guys. We have 500,000, 700, 900. It all depends, okay? So I'm going to pass it on to Aris, and Aris can quickly show the screen and talk about it.
So basically, from what I know, for me, for example, I work with mostly middle class, upper middle class type of people, and a lot of them, even though they make good income, it's mostly in the range of 900,000, right? Do you have there you go. So this is a breakdown that I created, and this data, the 11%, 4%, 3%, 1.6, those are based on the current sold for this year, based on how many registered agents there are since October 2021. So there's 58,094 agents in Trev right now that's registered, and these are based on percentage. So out of that registered agents, 34% were 0 homes. So we're going to focus on the top average, which is the 44%, which is 1 to 5 homes, right? So let's say you're like an average agent who sold 1 to 5 homes, okay? And like I said, if you're dealing with like the average, family income, that's going to be within the 909,226 home, which is a freehold townhouse right now in Toronto. So let's just say base the commission based on a 2.5 for selling and buying, okay? And based on that information, what we get is 22,730 and 65, not including HST, because they do need to pay the HST as well, okay? So out of that 44%, 1 to 5 homes, you multiply it by 5, this is what you get, which is a 22,730 and 65 average commission, right? You multiply by 5, your total salary for the year, this is gross income, meaning not including expenses, is 113,653 and 25, as you can see here. Now, I'm being actually kind here with the broker fee because it also depends on the person's performance for the agent themselves. Some might be 30%, 20, 70 or 30-70 split. We don't know, but I'm putting in 15% split. So what happens with your commission? You have to minus that commission. So in this example, I actually put 15%. Okay, so that 15% gets minus from your commission, and also including expenses. And I will talk more about that later on. But with the expenses, usually for some average agents, about 20%, and we'll talk about that later. And with the tax as well, it's 26%. So overall, your net income after everything's been removed, and this is for the average realtor, right, is 44,325 and 76 cents.
So there you.
That's
yes.
it.
So there you go, guys. And I think just for this breakdown that Aris provided, the expenses are actually sometimes more than that. We chose our own brokerages. I'm paying for a brand, and
I wanted to be more realistic too. That's why.
yes, you're being realistic, and you're paying for a brand, and I chose this. I chose to be with Remax. I'm paying for the brand. It's for what I chose, and I feel that is what works well for what I do. Well-known company, well-known brand, and that also means that you pay for what you get. Right? You want something more well-known that everybody knows. Same thing. You pay for it as well. So I pay for it on expenses, right? So a lot of people don't see this. So my cut of commission is more. So again, let me just go through quickly like the expenses. And I know Aris will show another chart later. With regards to that, that's 45,000. And some people make way more money than that. Even if you say we make 50,000 on 1 to 5 deals,
That's right.
at the end of the day, it's not the 113,000 that you're thinking of. You're now really down to all of these expenses. Now I know what you're going to say. Well, you can actually expense your, some of our expenses. We can to a certain point. To be honest with you, before we had a chance to incorporate, someone who's self-employed, like a plumber or anybody, can expense more than we can. So and then we're so limited. And believe it or not, how many times we get CRA gets to you. I can tell you, I think I've been assessed at least a couple of times, and my accountant's very good. So I'm always really close. Either they give me back money or I just pay a little bit, but they're always, really into realtors. They're always looking at our expenses and how much we are. I got nothing to hide. So, hey, go ahead, take a look and see. But there is definitely a lot of expense. Sometimes you see the numbers and after I'm like, oh, wow, you made this much. And you go boom, 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 boom. Oh, this is the takeaway. But I think what I wanted to tell them as well is there is a lot of personal sacrifice as well that we do when it comes to our time, work and life balance, right? Like Chinky, I have gone on vacations and people are telling me, when are you going to put your phone down? I always tell people, especially when I was starting, was I go to a party or event. I'm either really, really early and I'm there for an hour, maybe the first hour of the party, and I leave, or I'm there and trying to catch the last hour of the party. Because in between I have showings, or even sometimes when, even when it's your birthday, it was my birthday on Friday, thinking, okay, great, I'm going to try to relax. No, I get messages, I get calls, and then follow-ups. So I'm thankful this year that I didn't really work as much as I normally would on my birthday, but, I try to take that off. Doesn't always work. Sometimes when you have a deal, when you have an offer, people don't realize how time consuming it can be, right? When we do a deal and the bidding date starts at 7 o'clock at night, it's not done sometimes till midnight. When I'm at my client's house and it's our own home that we're when I go to the home and I present, I am not home till 2 o'clock in the morning. And by the time I get home, I'm still sending paperwork to the other realtor. You know what I mean? And then now I'm sending all this paperwork now to the mortgage, to the lawyers, to whoever it is, right? So, you think your day is done, it is not. And offers can happen anytime. We're always looking at our phone and say, hey, Did we get a response from that other realtor? Did we get that, or are they did we get it? Did we not? If not, I have clients. We don't get the bid. Okay, just didn't get the bid right now.
Yeah.
Not even 5 minutes. I get list of properties now to look at. We just lost a bid. Now they have five more. Now I have to research all of that after all of that. But there's a momentum going and they want it done, right? I'm not. I mean, they want to continue looking until they find that home. But our work doesn't stop, right? So maybe you can tell me, guys, a little bit of so the expenses. I know Aris, you can. You want to go over quickly the expenses
Yeah,
part?
for sure. The one that I sent
Yeah.
out. Again, this is like not all realtors are the same. I mean, I know for a fact for myself, it's more for the percentage, a lot more than what I put in there for myself. From for advertising, broker fee, education as well. Continuing education is another important. So as realtors, right, we also employ other people. That's what people don't understand. We have contracts with other companies like your website. Right, my billboards, for example, that's another thing, right? But not all realtors have that. But I mean, like I said, it's we employ other people in the community in our business. Does Kuya Vaughn
Actually,
have the?
Vaughn will have
Yeah, it's
a
okay.
screenshot of the expenses. Yeah, but
Yeah.
then maybe we can briefly talk about like what is our expense. So first
Well,
off, we have our
usually it's
car.
like I said, right? Like people, it's your own expense. For me, it's between 30% of my income is my expenses, right? So a major factor that is like marketing and education, right? We have to continue to market ourselves. And again, do we get anybody? It's a risk we take, right? Our presence online, right? I mean, I hire companies to market myself on social media and my outdoor marketing as well, right? Also, your fees as well, our fees with insurance policy, right? Realtor fees that we have with Rico, right? With our license, so we have that. The gas, the parking, it adds
Yep.
up, right? The tools that we use as well, that adds up as well. Our phone, the internet, my own office. This is my own office right here. So whatever I spend money on, this is what it is, right? The listing presentation too, right? We hire professionals too, right? I'm not sure about other realtors, but for me, I like to hire the best for my listing, and that's what I do. And again, like I said, the continuing education, it's ongoing. People tend to think that in our industry, once you get your license, that's it. No, not for me. Unfortunately, not, because I like to be on top of my game. I like to be sharp for my client. And again, like Giselle said earlier, you get what you paid for, right? And that's what we do. We need to be the best that we can be, so we can be here to protect consumer. That's our job, right? In real estate, is to protect consumer, to make sure that they make the right decision in real estate. And
I agree with Aris. I really agree with Aris. Sometimes when we have listings, you spend first before you make money, right? So I let my clients understand that once I get this listing, it's not, oh yeah, you get the listing, but then the work started when you spend on staging, on
that's right, staging as well. Yeah.
online marketing. We do Facebook ads, Google ads, something like that. So it's part of the expenses too. It's not something like you have 2.5%, and
And
then
we're
they
not doing it yet, right?
calculate so how much money you'll get. 2.5%, and they didn't
The-
even subtract all the expenses prior
and the
to
time
getting that commission.
we put into it too, right?
Yes, yes. Time
My wife
also.
said that my wife thinks I'm minimum wage because I'm on the phone all the time. She was upset with me. What are you doing? And I'm finishing your meal, and I'm like, I'm on the phone with a client because they want me to do what you're doing, right? The booking, and things like that happen, and it's part of our
Uh,
job.
Absolutely, I agree with both of you. I mean, especially when, like I said, even just advertising in the community, when you have, there's concerts, there's events, and all that stuff. People always ask people. They love to ask realtors for sponsorship. In reality, we don't always get the return. Of
No.
getting a client from it. Sometimes it's more expense than that. But we decide. Everybody has their own advertising in their own way, right? For me, I have done a lot of emceeing, within the community, and you know, and to be honest with you, that's time. The value of time when I MC events like festivals, whether it's 30 people or 300,000 people that I'm there. I mean, I'm there the whole day, right? But that also means that I'm away from my clients for the whole day. and then someone else is looking after my business. Okay. Of course, my business comes first, right? Because that's my bread and butter. So my time being there promoting myself, that's my advertising. So it might not be necessarily monetary wise that I am paying for it, but my time is also as valuable. But people don't realize when I MC, I need to dress up. There's my dress, there's my hair,
That's
there's
right.
my makeup, there's my gas, there's my food while I'm there. Sometimes, I go to this events, I am doing it pro bono for free, but I just spent $300 on what I'm going to wear. And then every time everybody wants me to wear Filipiniana and just an event. Okay. You know how many Filipinianas I have, right?
Because
Just,
you're very popular, Giselle. You're like a celebrity in the
uh,
community.
You are a superstar.
it's but I'm grateful, people ask, when I do have the time, I do it, but that is also part of advertising, right? So we
Yes.
have like you said, you can either do billboards, you can have having a
Clothing.
radio show, for
Yeah.
example, right now with Pinoy Radio, and this has been like 4 years now with the radio show, right? So I also have my own newspaper ads. I have like, I think I have done all types of advertising as well. And I think I got to the point that I'm just grateful that social media presence is very important. That has been beneficial for me. Not everybody who always sees your post like your post, but I do get messages on the side asking about a property or inquiring or referring somebody. So I'm grateful that within that 10 years now, I have already established my brand and my name, and I have other people helping me out too. So like right now, I might be doing the show right now, but someone else is answering the inquiries of our clients at the moment. So the clients is
Yeah.
still number one priority. And um,
Yes.
but our work doesn't stop here. And every time, every year, it's like we restart and refresh. January 1st comes, it's like we're start at zero. We start all over again, right? You know what I mean? COVID. I'll give you an example during COVID. A lot of people, we didn't know how we were going to be affected during COVID, right? I'll tell you this. So, I had production January, Feb, March hit. All of a sudden, we're like, okay, this is like we're on lockdown. What do you do? At that time, we didn't even know if realtors can work. We were able to work. We were deemed essential. But what happened was we can only show homes virtually. Okay. So actually, you know what I did personally, and this was my own personal choice. At that time, I spoke to all my clients. So I have existing clients, and I asked them two things. Number one, do you have a place to live? Number two, you know what I mean? Is this, do you need to find a home now? Is this a priority? Because I said, I know what we're dealing with. We've never had a pandemic in our lifetime. We've
Yeah.
heard about it from the 1900s, 1918
Exactly.
or something from the Spanish flu, but we've never had it. So here's the thing, and I said to them, because the homes are just being shown virtually, I told my clients, I do not agree with you buying a house just looking at pictures and videos. You need to see it in person. You need to feel the property. You need to be there, and that way you can see exactly the space if that fits well within your family and with what you require and need for your own self or your family. So when I said, if it's not a rush, let's just wait and see. But by me saying that, I was compromising myself because I will not have an income for however long this pandemic would be. So with that being said, I did not work for 2 months. March and April, I did not work. But that also meant when I started in May, I had clients who were saying, Giselle, no, we're selling our house now. We're gonna do it now. And ever since May of 2020, I have not stopped, and it was continues on. So it just, I was already out and doing it, of course, with precautions and everything. But when with that being said, with that 2 months not working, when you start showing homes to client in May, and their house does not close till August, that means that from March, April, May, June,
No income.
July,
No income.
5 months, there is no income. Okay. This is what people don't understand.
They don't understand.
Thankfully, I had clients in January and February. So those deals, you know what I mean, went through and came in. Have I not had production? And most of the time, and with realtors, sometimes you don't get the clients right away in January and February because after Christmas time, everybody's busy. January, they're all coming back from vacation. People have a lot of debt and credit cards to pay for. They're like, we're gonna hold off, and then we kind of use our down payment for the gifts. So we're gonna wait. So luckily, I had some production. But if not, imagine that. If I didn't have production in January and Feb, that means 7 months I had no income. But on top of that, my monthly fees for my office, even though guys, our
So
office takes
Going.
money, right? Diba? nabibill tayo, right? We're being
Yes.
billed for from our
Exactly.
office.
Mhm.
I mean, I also work from home, but I have office
Yes.
fees still. Like, I mean, as
You
if I
still
was in the
do.
office. So
Yeah.
just to give people an idea how much our office fees are, I tell people it's like going all inclusive every month. Okay.
Exactly.
So, so you spend, you were paying for that. So if you don't make a sale, you have all of this, it adds up, right? All your expenses there. Plus, at the same time, you still have your bills to pay. I still have my website I have to pay. I have my database
Right.
to pay.
Yeah.
I have my advertising to pay. So all of that still adds up. So that's an example of the reality. So sometimes we're at realtors are high, 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 high. We make a lot of money. Great, 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 great. And there are times it's like, oh, wait a minute. I should try other styles of trying to acquire clients at this time, right? So, that's what I think the trend is. Chinky, maybe since you started full time, what did you think based on your experience?
Oh, I can relate to you, Giselle. It's really hard to manage your finances when, like me, I started not too long ago. Like your seasoned realtors, you have big database, right? So me, I just rely mostly on referrals. I do
Mm-hmm,
some cold calls. I did open houses,
mm-hmm,
but like you said, like not every month I got a sale. I got a firm deal, so I have to stretch my finances. Um, I have rent to pay, and
mm-hmm,
in my first, like I told you, in my first full year as a full-time real estate, I don't have a car because I can't afford it. In
mm-hmm.
2019, it's only last year that I bought my car, and luckily my clients, they're very supportive of me. Like if I ask them, "Oh, can I just ride in your car? I can just pay the gas." They said, "Okay," because it's allowed before just to be in one car. But during
Mm-hmm.
COVID time, you cannot
You
you
can.
cannot just ride to your client's car or just let them ride with you. But I have to make a tough decision that I have to buy a car because it's necessary, because
Yeah.
it's very scary when COVID hit in March. Oh my god, what will happen? I have bills to pay, like you said. I have one transaction that time in February, and then that's it. Like, and it's not almost every week that I have clients. Like most of my clients this year actually were pre-approved last year. It's not like, okay, I have a client now ready to purchase right away. It's not like that. There's a preparation. That's why I urge my clients, if they're planning to buy or sell, talk to any realtors, talk to me, or talk to anyone how the preparation goes, because it's not just right away that you'll be ready, right? There's process to go through. So in our situation, it's the same thing. Like not all the time we have sale and we have closed
Yeah.
deals. It would sometimes would wait up 2 months to get another commission, right? So I have to stretch everything. And me
Mm-hmm.
as a single mom, I really have to balance and manage my finances. So it's
Uh,
tough. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, Aris has his family, and in you're a single mom. Like, I mean, people have this misconception just because I'm single, I don't have any expenses. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't mean that I'm not married right now, that I don't have, other
He's
expenses.
a
I just
lucky
talk about my
guy.
personal life, right? I think the one thing is I don't really talk about my personal life, but yes. So, I mean, we do still have bills to pay. We have expenses to pay, right? And, we do everything that we can to promote ourselves out there. But I wanted to show you a chart from 2020, how successful realtors are. And in 2020, and this is actually a good number to look at because real estate was really hot during the pandemic. Okay, so in 2020, from the Toronto Real Estate Board here, Toronto Real Estate Regional Board, there was 58,000 realtors. Okay, and out of that 58,000, the first 20,000 made zero deals. Okay. That's the reality. That's one third already made zero deals in 2020. They paid $4,000 for their fees, all of that stuff, and they have zero. The second one is the rest of the 25,000, almost 26,000 people made 1 to 5. And in based on talking to other realtors, the 1 to 5 is really just your own house that you're selling, or a friend's house, or a relative's home. Okay, sometimes might just be one or two, not even five. So now you have 45,000 out of 58,000 people. That leaves you with 13,000. And to be honest with you, 5 deals in a month is not a lot. Okay, that will not, that is not sufficient to be able to survive, for that year, right? And Aris, what's that number? How many homes did you there was 5 homes, right? On your
Yeah,
example?
that's what I based it on, right? If they sold the property, that's worth 900. But I know not all properties are worth 900, right?
Mm-hmm.
At 1 to 5,
Exactly.
it could be like
So
300, it could be five.
it might be 500,000,
Yeah,
it might be
500,000.
400,000,
Yeah.
it can be anything. So if you can kindly just go back to the chart there that we were looking at. So 6 to 10 deals, it's almost 7,000 agents. So if you look at the number of agents, and I think if you were in the 11 to 15 range there, right? And less, the numbers less, 2683 agents, 11 to 15, almost 1800 realtors. That's not a lot, guys. So in reality, and the realtors really makes it big. It's just the top 1000 or 1500, I would say, or
Right.
top 1800, right? If you
Yep.
make it to the top 1800 from this chart, I think you're really doing a great job, right? But a 26 the 2683 agents for 11 to 15, that's definitely a good number, and as you build your database and your referral, then obviously the more they make. But this is the reality. A lot of people that even some people have asked, okay, I want to be a realtor. And when I tell them, we can take the chart down. Thank you very much. A lot of people that I know, when I start telling them how it is, because I tell them the reality as well, right? Not just the good side of real estate, is also the expenses and, the other side of it, right? All the risks that you're taking. And when I tell them, one time someone's like, oh, you do paperwork? Ang dami palang paperwork. O ayoko na.
There's a lot of people, madami.
Marami masyadong paperwork, hindi alam, right? Like my desk is filled with paperwork, even though it's electronic now, right? So that's basically what it is. I know we're kind of running a little bit of time, maybe for the next 10 minutes. I want to move on quickly to talk about, so in your opinion, do you think real estates are overpaid?
Like I said, right, my wife thinks I'm making minimum wage, right? And based on my expenses, I feel like there's a lot more to it than what we get paid for in commission, right? There's a lot of overhead that people don't understand, and this is our business, right? In a business, you have to run it well, and in a business, you have to take care of your brand. So
Yeah. And it's all about marketing. And then at the end of the day, I hate to say it, first thing that they see is first impression. What type of car? What type of car do you drive? What kind of, what kind of bag are you wearing? What kind of
The way you
suit
dress
it is?
up and everything. Yeah.
Exactly,
well,
right?
I
So,
told this to Chinky. I remember when you bought your car, you asked my opinion, what kind of car, and they said you have to buy this car, not what your ex, whatever, what that person said to you. Because I'm going to tell you my story. I remember I had a listing presentation, and it was in Richmond Hill, and this was like almost 10 years ago, right? It's a long time. And that time, I was just like, again, a new beginner, right? The guy came out and asked me, what kind of car do I drive? And I'm like,
that's his
what?
first question?
Yeah. After we were finished with my presentation, because you look like you're so successful, and he comes out and he goes, by the way, where's your car? And I'm like, I parked to the side there. He goes, where? I go, why do you want to see my car? And I was driving a regular Mazda, right? And ever since then, I have to change my brand. So I bought my first Lexus, and then moving forward, never changed. I've been buying my brand because people relate to brands, and that's one of my marketing campaign, right? The brand,
Speaking of car, so I mean, I did have a car, a decent car before as well with real estate. But the one thing that I didn't really buy a lot was name brand bags.
Yeah.
Not because I can't afford it. It was just more of a personal choice that to me at that time, it was more experience over possession for me at that time. But that's me. Okay. So I'm going to spend 5,000 in a bag, or I'm going to go travel in Europe. So it was more that thing that but mind you, don't get me wrong, as you get older, your priorities change. So I kid you not, I only started buying name brand bags 2 years ago. And that's because I wanted to, not because I was forced to. I mean, I've already established my business long time ago, and that's the same thing. But speaking with the car, so when I upgraded my car 2 years ago, so I got a different, more high-end car this time, right? When I bought my car this time around, I've had clients na ibang lahi, and I've noticed yung ibang lahi, may mapaka name brand yung gusto nung parents, okay? So when they met me, maraming question. And then, okay naman, we're good, right? We're good. Pero nung nakita nila yung kotse ko, wala na question.
Huwag ganun
and,
eh. Yes,
and
di
I'm
ba
not
sabi
trying to
Chinky,
be sorry.
Yeah.
tama ka doon kasi sinabi ko Chinky rin yun eh.
Yeah, I didn't understand that beforehand because I thought that, if a client really trusts you, whichever cars you have, then they go for you, right? But not all clients are like that. That perception, the perception is very important. When
I
they
think
perceive you as somebody successful, like they will
They expect you to have,
they watch
nakita mo,
everything, like the way you wear, all the
ito Chinky,
accessories.
hindi rin ito Pilipino.
Yeah.
Lumabas
ibang
siya.
lahi din.
Ibang lahi, ang dami,
Kahit
kasi
ibang
hindi
lahi,
lang Pilipino. Ibang lahi rin
Yeah.
to. Okay?
Yeah.
Iba na naman to, ibang story naman to. Isang listing presentation na naman. Then, tapos na ako. Pagbaba namin, can I see your car? Nakatawa pa. Oh, here you go. Oh, it's a Mercedes. Wow. I'm like, okay, good. So, like I said, confidence, it sells itself. Ganun yun, di ba? Like branding. It connects with you. So,
It does.
it is what it is.
I mean,
Not everyone's like that. Not everyone, but some are.
yeah.
They
I
look at
mean,
what you have.
mind you, I think that was the only experience that I've had. But majority of my clients, even when I was driving a car that wasn't as much of a high end before, they were still, I was still grateful that that was never actually a question, right? I did find it made a difference because they I can tell that this clientele, they were referred to me pero may pera sila, right? And then you can tell suot ng nanay niya lahat name brand from the from top to bottom and all that stuff. And then when they see it, and pretty much the question was, "Wow, can I sit in your Maserati?" And that was it. And I'm like, "Yeah, please go
And it's
ahead,
not-
have a seat."
I'm not saying all clients are like that.
You feel
I'm not saying
proud
all clients are
to
like that,
keep
but
client, you feel proud too. I have some clients that don't have a car, and I ask them, yeah, I can drive you, and you can use my car, and you feel proud
good.
that, oh
Yeah.
wow. I mean, it's not really brand new; it's a second hand.
Yeah.
My car is a second hand, but it's my dream car, the BM.
There
So
you go.
so I said to myself, I deserve it too. Like I work
You
hard
do.
for it, then I deserve it too. And I think my client
Absolutely.
also deserves something that they feel comfortable sitting with, right? So
There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely, and and an amazing job. We all have our own preference, right? Like we all drive three different luxury cars. It doesn't mean we're telling people that you should drive a luxury car
No.
because I made it in this business without driving a luxury
Yeah.
car,
yeah.
and I made it in this business. I made this in this business not wearing a brand name bag,
Yeah.
and it was never a question. So for my end, it was that. But the choices that I made later on is because I wanted to, because I love cars. I love cars. I love sports cars. I love fast cars, like, in general, right? So I knew what I wanted. I knew what will make me happy first. Of course, the marketing part of the real estate comes with that too, right? So that's secondary for me. So, but it's really your choice. But I think at the end of the day, you can drive a nice car, but if the clients are not happy with you and they don't trust you, it's not gonna work.
That's why you work
Okay.
on this, right? Sharpen our mind. Education's key, right? And
Yeah.
be
I
professional.
Always
think
improving,
also
right?
what we're giving to our clients is also a big factor. If we give value, if we represent them in their best interest, I think whatever what you're wearing, that's why they're saying, some of my friends, I'm already a realtor, but I'm still the same Chinky. I still eat the same food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I tell people the same thing. I'm the same person that you met from before. I am, the same person that can go out and we can go camping, or we can go in a 5-star luxury hotel. It doesn't
Yes.
matter. You know what I mean? But the personality, and it's just, you just have to be true to yourself and true to your craft, right? For me, at the end of the day, as long as I'm not stepping on anyone's toes, I'm doing my job and my business and looking after my client's best interest. Because really, money will come after, right? If I was in this business to make money, you will fail. It is
No,
not
you
based
won't
on money.
survive.
But our intention, and I think that we have a common ground between the three of us here, is we want to look at our client's best interest. We want to
Yes.
make sure that you're happy with your home. And I'll tell you this, I'm the first realtor that will tell you to not buy that house. If I
Yeah.
see something and I don't think that fits, and there's like, oh, because of this, I will tell you that's not, my
It's
personal
true.
opinion, you should not buy that house. And I've said that several times, and I think that's where I'm grateful. And I just leave it to the clients. I have my reviews on my page. I tell them, if you get a chance, kindly put a review. I don't know what review they're going to put in there. I'm
I know.
grateful that it's a
That's the
5 out of 5-star review, and it's over
I'm so
100
happy
reviews.
too. I'm the same way.
Right?
I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then it's the same thing with you, Chinky, and the same thing with you, Aris, right?
Yeah.
So, wow. So, got another 5 minutes. Very quickly here. And I know people have asked this. Something in Facebook Market, sorry, CBC Marketplace showed with regards to realtors who there's a first sale by owner, and the owner
Yeah.
in Vaughan was selling something for, and only giving 1% commission. Now, we know that there's no certain average. Sometimes, we get paid 2.5%, sometimes
That's right.
2.25, sometimes it's 2%, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
and so we have seen it that sometimes na I think the question about that is, wow, 14,000 na nga ang kitain mo. Bakit ayaw pakita ng mga realtors yung bahay na yun na for sale by owner based on that example? I want you guys to quickly comment on that. Sorry.
Well, for me, I think it's I read that too story that too. I also saw the video about that CBC. Like for me, I respect my clients. Whatever houses that they really want to, like I ask my clients if they see something in Realtor.ca or any website and they like to see the house. I respect that, even if it's 1% or how much commission, because it's my client. I mean, I want to give them their own views of what properties that they really like. I want them to feel happy with their purchase, right? No matter what the commission is. So that's my opinion.
That's your opinion. So my
Yeah.
opinion, basically, and I, again, Chicky, sorry, don't mean to cut off. For me, when it comes to any properties for my buyer, I always disclose them what it is and disclose them. For example, I think this example is for sale by owner, so I tell them how much they're gonna pay me. I never really care about that information as long as they are aware how much we are getting paid. That's all I care about. Other than that, with other realtors, I don't know the reasons why they would do that, and that's really sad. But we don't know their full story. We don't know how long they've been working with the buyers. We don't know a lot of things, right? We don't know if they're even selling any properties. Like as you can see on the stats, right? There's like about 20,000 people who did zero deal. What about if you're one of those realtor and then you need to pay your bills? We don't know their stories. I have nothing. I have nothing to say about anyone else except with my own business. I will take care of my buyer and I will disclose all those things to them all the time. It's
Yeah.
transparency. And that's important for me because I look at long-term relationship. My business is successful. It's because of my past clients and all the people that surround me, and I respect all of them for that reason.
So basically, thank you both for your opinion. Basically, I mean, we can talk on a lot of people's behalf that
Yeah.
yes, is it a reality out there that kung mababa ang commission, they won't show the property? Probably. I think we can only speak to ourselves and how we have dealt with our clientele. And I think if our clients did not feel that we were honest enough in doing this business, we wouldn't have repeat clients. We wouldn't have referrals,
No.
right? That will be coming in. The one thing though that I think I wanted to mention with regards to that article is, I think that yes, and it's a matter of is 14,000, a lot. Again, by the time we have our expenses and everything else in the breakdown, that person's 14,000 might not be that one sale for the year. Okay. And so you don't know everybody's story. We all look good as we show, we all look good wearing that suit or wearing, what we have and in that car. I mean, I've seen guys who drive Porsches and they said, "Oh my God, I'm spending $2,000 in this, so like it's too much money for me to pay every month to pay for this car." Just because it's like being a social media influencer, right?
Yes.
That you have to keep,
In the trend.
you keep up. You have to keep up with the lifestyle, right? You have to keep up with the Joneses, right? So with that being said, and I mean, yes, I agree that other realtors might not be as might not show you the property, but honestly, guys, technology in this day and age, technology has all the information right now. If a client wants to see the Lozolo, they look at how Sigma, look at
How
Realtor.ca.
stigma is good.
Yeah.
Yep, it is a very good app, and then
I
they
like
would
that.
show you. They even
Yeah.
tell you, this is whatever, this is this. So they have everything in their disposal as well already. It's not something that we're trying to hide or whatever it is, right? So just as one thing here, guys, make sure that you actually work with
That's
licensed
right.
realtors. Okay. Apparently, there's been rumors out there. There's some people who pretend to be realtors. We won't get into that, but thanks, Eris, for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah.
But here is Real Estate Council of Ontario, RICO. You can search every salesperson if they are licensed. So here, right now, we just searched Chinky Del Mar as an example. We have Aris as well as an example, so the name shows up. and then we're gonna go back, and then we're gonna show my name here quickly. So because our name shows there, it shows our brokerage, and by showing this, it actually says that we are licensed realtors. So if there's any doubt, if you have any doubts in your mind, if we are legit, if we are licensed, you can go to RICO, register and search, and you will be able to find out all the information about us. And we are an open book. Everything is online. You search any of our names and you will just see boom, 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 all of everything else that we have done. Lastly, very quickly, nako, we might need a part two for this because I don't think the one show is enough. Okay. Very last topic. Everybody's question. Do you think there's going to be a housing market bubble? Will it crash?
Chicky, you wanna?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Based on the stats, like even before 2020, there's COVID, right? They think like some of my buyers, they're like, okay, hold on a minute because maybe the prices will drop, but then it never happened. Like the more there's bidding wars, less supply, but more buyers who wants to buy because of the lowest mortgage rate. So I don't think there's really a market bubble coming up. Prices will still go up. So if you're ready to buy, if you're ready to sell, as long as your finances are aligned, all the required documents, then go ahead. You know, it's always the best time to buy real estate because real estate never goes down. I mean, it's a good investment for everyone. Yeah.
So,
thank you, Chinky. Go ahead, Aris.
So I mean, as part of us, like we're the specialists in the field, so it's important to talk to someone that's licensed and who specialize, because when you specialize, we have all the data. I have looked at the data with my clientele, whether they're buyer or seller. I showed them data for the past 40 years. And guess what? In the past 40 years, it goes up like this. There might be like a little bit of a hold, but it keeps going up. Now, you're asking me, is the market is there a bubble? I don't see a bubble. I don't see the market crashing, to be honest. I don't see it. What we have right now is currently supply and demand. We don't have enough supply, so therefore the market will keep going up. We have 400, I would say 500,000 of people we're expecting coming to Canada. 500,000, okay? That's a lot of people coming here. And guess what? Someone living from Hong Kong, someone from Taiwan, someone from the Philippines and in India. And a lot of those people will have money. First, they'll rent. And then guess what? Right now, we are 1.2% allowed to increase our rent. So the rental market will continue to go up. So my suggestion is it the right time to buy? It is the right time to buy if you're pre-approved, right? So that's what's happening.
Absolutely. A great input from both of you. You are correct with the supply and demand. This has been an issue with COVID. A lot of people were actually, didn't want to sell their home, but there were a lot of buyers. And that's also because of the fact that interest rate is really low. You can get interest rate at 2.09%, for example, on a 5-year fix, average, give or take. And you can get variable rate from 1.3 to 1.5% on a 5-year term. 1.3 to 1.5% is so cheap. Right? When you can renew your mortgage, this is cheaper than your line of credit. This is cheaper than getting interest in your car. So there's a lot of factors with that the interest rate is really low. And of course, it is supply and demand. Now, just to add on to what Aris has mentioned, the fact that the people who actually bought last year and this year are just us, the Canadians. It's not even, we don't have the foreign buyers yet. The immigration has not opened yet, and it's just starting to open. So imagine once you have all of that, then you have more competition in the marketplace. I guess part two, as for June Lapan, we also have, somebody said happy birthday there. I think it's Arnold, so happy birthday. And Ate Alma said, hi, happy to hear all your success stories as a realtor. Kudos to all of you three. You're all truly Filipino pride. Oh, maraming salamat, Ate Alma, for tuning in. We appreciate you. And I think, so that being said, I don't think there is going to be a housing market. A lot of people who got lucky at the beginning who, I think I'll tell everybody this. All these people say, oh, I wish I bought a home 10 years ago. 10 years ago, your circumstances did not allow you to do so. You had other priorities. So we have to focus on now, because 10 years from now, you're going to say, oh, I'm so glad I bought a home in 2021 or in 2022. As far as experience with real estate, I have bought my own home back in the early, in the 2000s, sold that. Interest rate were high at 5.56%. Sold their home, penalty was huge. And then this time around, now, I bought another home. So therefore, my home has increased in value. It has doubled, right? So in real estate, in my own personal opinion, even before as a realtor, being investing in real estate and seeing it now, definitely is the most sound investment. And not because we're realtors, we're telling you this. We can tell you based on experience. And I'm pretty sure I've had clients who bought their home at 200, 300,000 over 15 years ago, and they sold their home for over $1 million. Who, even if you make $50,000 a year, who is gonna get? Will the bank give you 50,000 in 1 year?
No way.
For
Yeah.
your interest rate. With that being said, then definitely for us, I mean, we are in this business, and if you want a first, a second, a third opinion, Chinky del Mar of EXP Realty, Aris Abuyen of Century 21 People's Choice, and myself, Giselle Mirasol of Remax Rouge River. We will definitely give you our information. You can all find us online. I know, just search our name, our Facebook, like our Facebook pages, and June said have a part two, and then we'll talk about that if maybe we'll do a part two with this. Definitely a lot of fun. Thank you very much for my birthday
thank you so
special.
much.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
For
Giselle.
being here. And I think this kind of shows now, there is competition in real estate, but they're all friendly competition. Definitely, I am not in competition with any of us two. We've all been doing great. We've referred clients. I've referred a client to Chinky. Right?
Yeah.
I'm open to
I
that
closed
too,
the
man.
deal. Giselle referred me a client, and I closed it last month. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And this is where a lot of people don't see this, because I think this is the first time that all three of us are together.
I referred someone to Chinky before too, but I guess nothing happened, right, with that guy.
So we if we're able to, and I believe in if we can, I mean, me having you guys in the show, and we share this experience. This is education for our clientele, right? And providing them with a benefit that this is public. I know this is for the public, for everyone to see. And then Catherine Santo Domingo Miana says, great job, everyone. Thank you very much, Catherine, for tuning in. Maraming salamat po. This is our 4th year with Pinoy Radio, MCBN. Thank you guys. More success to you all, June Alapan. This is my 4th show with Property Talks with Giselle Mirasol. So maraming salamat sa inyo for continuously tuning in, and for all the clients, and for everyone who greeted me on my birthday. We will have the show again in 2 weeks' time. We'll definitely post it online. But once again, to my 2 special guests, I wish you more success and more abundance in 2022.
Thank you so much.
Same to both of you.
Thank
It's
you
always
for
a pleasure talking to you guys.
Exactly. And we were talking about beforehand, and we share, this is where when you network and share information, we all learn, right? We need to get rid of this whole Filipino crab mentality. Oh yeah, I'm glad.
You're doing it
I'm
all.
still,
You're amazing.
we might be in the business for a while, but continuously we are still learning, right? There's always something new that we learn, right? But sorry, as I was saying, maraming salamat. This crab mentality in the Filipino community, we need to, we're starting here to show you that we are here united, and we are here to have everybody's best interest. So you can give us a call, any of us, and we'll be happy to assist you and have the Canadian dream of finding your home. Okay? Maraming salamat po. Again, Chinky and Aris, maraming salamat. And Giselle Mirasol, this is Giselle Mirasol of Remax of Property Talks. And have yourself, everyone, a good day. SoulMyG.com. Maraming salamat, everybody.
Thank you.
God bless. Bye. Minutes.